Hello everyone and welcome to another figure review. Today we'll be reviewing Daibadi's Polynian number 12, Alvin. Alvin is a very sleek looking robot here. He appears to be something like a Secret Service agent. As you can see, he's got the lapels of what looks like a suit and even a collared shirt with a tie coming out. Let's take a look at the box. As you can see here, we have a windowed display as usual with some anime images to the left and of course the figure and its accessories to the right. We have a nice picture of him on the side tipping his hat, another picture of him as a girl with a ROBO thong, and some poses on the back showing the accessories as well. And as seen here, Alvin comes in at 5.5 inches, which makes him a 1/12 scale. And there's our little guy looking ready to go. We can of course use the included hexagonal base as usual, or we can use the separately sold Polynian stand, which you can plug in above his butt, in the belt, on the back, or on his head. Now let's take a look at those many hands. He of course comes standard issue with a pair of balled fists, a pair of opened hands, a pair of love symbols rock and roll style, an alternate pair of fists where his thumb is placed in a different area. As you can see on the original, they actually have the thumb at the top of the hand rather than on the side. A pair of fixed closed fists which only will allow him to hold Polynian accessories. And finally a pair of grasping hands, which is something I've been begging for, so now he can actually hold accessories from other figures as well. And like the others, you can pop off his hair to remove the faceplate and swap it out for another one, then pop his hair right back on. And now we're greeted with this rather smug face, and I really like it. Additionally, he comes with this happy face, which could be misconstrued as a bit sadistic. The eyes are just low enough to make it look like it has some malicious intent. There's also this kunai shaped thing, which you can plug into the back of the head either above or below on either peg, and unlike the other incredibly tight peg holes in the back of the head, this one allows it to plug right in and roll around on that ball joint. And he looks a little bit feminine, right? Well, that's because you can do this. Pull off his legs, then unplug his waist from the midsection and remove that ball peg joint. Then plug the long side back into the other pelvis. Rotate it to the front and hinge it up. Now plug the legs back in, plug the midsection back into the waist, and there you have it. But what did this transformation do, you ask? As you can see, there's not quite as much armor plating around the crotch. You'll see that there's much more armor there. And if you flip it around, you'll see a much nicer robo booty. But now we have a robo thong. Oh yeah. Robo thong? Robo thong. I just love my robo thong, girl. Thongs aside, let's take a look at some other accessories. As you can see, there's a peg hole right here on his belt, which trails right along to the front, which shows off that nice gold accent. I love that. You can plug in right here, which actually is meant for this hover skirt. And the hover skirt has something like pouches on it, almost like it's a utility belt. Plug that in right there, and he looks a little bit more combat ready. And this flexible plastic is exactly what I've been begging for in the line. Nice to see them learning as they go on. But what's an officer without their hat? As we can see here, there's a nice little gold insignia. There's a siren on the side which can be posed or moved to the other side, as well as a hinge joint in the back that allows you to plug it right into the back of his head. You plug that in right here with that tiny peg. It goes in nice and easily, and you can lower the hat onto his dome, just like Ymir, but much cuter, I think. And look at that, holding the brim. I just love this figure already. But any good officer needs their tools, so what else does this guy come with?
Stop right there, criminal scum!
Not very menacing yet, but why don't we take a look at this part here? Now he's got a bit of a riot baton, and man, that's still pretty adorable. I don't think it's very menacing yet. But when you zoom in, you can really see some of the detail here. There's so much desaturated blue and gray, and the black and white all blends together, and it's so much more than monochrome. I really do love this color scheme. The accents of white, the highlight of gold, it all comes together for a really interesting design. Or imagine waking up to this. This is the first thing you see. Maybe your family had just been rescued, or you don't quite know what's going on. But this thing is here to help you. But man, look at this piece. This is so different from some of the other guns, much more menacing. much less playful like the Nerf and water guns the other characters have come with. And there's a really cool feature here where you can actually fold the stock of the gun up into the rifle itself. And now you have a nice chunky assault rifle, and that really just makes this awesome accessory even better. It really looks awesome on one of these characters, and it just continues to flesh out an already amazing figure. But there's another cool trick. If you take the baton and rip off the end of it, you can actually plug that into the end of the gun here, which will make it look less like an assault rifle and a bit more like a sniper rifle. And I love this. This is so much cooler than the regular gun. And I'm not sure if you're supposed to, but I plugged in the handle on the other side, and it looks pretty cool. And my goodness, when this figure has this accessory in hand, it just opens up all sorts of possibilities. I absolutely love the juxtaposition of all the black and gray and white, but then you add that red in there, and this gun is just what brings everything all together. Combined with that smug face, goodness, just arrest me now. But seriously, look at this. There's such an awesome dynamic of such a cute character with such a menacing weapon. It truly does give me this science fiction vibe. And with the Secret Service looking collared shirt popping out, as well as the black tie and the lapels of what would be an executive jacket, this thing really looks like a soldier for the Empire or something. Yeah, sure, give us a peace sign, but obviously there's ulterior motives with that gun in your other hand. Look at how adorable this character is, though. There's such a great duality of making it look serious and military, but then making it look just adorable. Especially when you put the hair on the back, I'm absolutely falling in love with this thing. Surprisingly, that Robo butt is pretty tame. I'd say some of the guys give her a run for her money. Well, you shouldn't have been looking anyway. Damn, girl! Pat! Look at that butt! Damn! In the end, I fell in love with this figure as I continued to play with it. Just this pose here as I sit and look at it, goodness, it reminds me of what exactly happened while I was posing this thing. You put an extra face on it, give it that smug look, and gosh, this is an officer that I would allow to arrest me. Funny enough, at one point, I actually doubted how much I was going to like this figure. I even thought, hey, maybe she just deserves a 9. But as I continued to play with it, I came to terms, and I said, don't you dare give this thing anything less than a 10 out of 10. This figure is nearly perfect. There's so much to love. The design itself is so unique. There's so much more to this one, and that's what I want out of these figures. I want them to keep pushing the design aspect, because that's what got me in the beginning, and this one does exactly that. I don't know if Alvin's my new favorite, but I will say that the gender ambiguity of it is really nice. There's so much going on there, and it keeps you interested either way. The accessories are almost in excess because you can do a lot with the actual accessories they give you, and they already give you a lot. Each one has a dual purpose, and it allows you to do so much when posing this figure. They're truly creating a universe with these characters, and I really want to see more out of it. And you know what? I think I'm getting it. As each character comes out, I'm starting to see a story almost. Honestly, that's what's great about them, is that they really do tempt your imagination. This figure reminded me of why I truly do love this series. I'm in love with Alvin. Female form or male form, this is an awesome figure. And fortunately, it hasn't blown up too much. You can actually still get this figure for around $80 or so, which is still a bit above what they normally cost. This figure came out in March, so it's about 2 months old, so I could see that price going up over time as these things disappear. So definitely get one now if you're interested. And that's going to be the end of it. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like this review, please leave a like on the video. It really does help me out. And make sure to subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. Did you like this character? Tell me in the comments below. I've already told you so many reasons I love this thing, so let's talk about it. How did you guys find this new format? I'm trying some new stuff with my reviews, and I want to see how things go. So any feedback is welcome. If you want to see any other reviews, go ahead and click the playlist on screen. It does lead you to some of my other figure reviews, and it does help the channel by doing that. With all that said, the next review is going to be the Toho Polynian, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But besides that, have an awesome day and keep on collecting.